Now the first area of the body, according to our plan, according to our investigations and our programming, and you have to study this very closely because this is the credo of the program, the thymus gland is the first area that breaks down the presence of radiation. Well, why the thymus? Well, the thymus is a gland that is your radiation monitor. It is your protector. It is the gland that's in the body to monitor all phases of radiation coming in and coming out. The thymus is insulted when someone yells at you. The thymus, in the presence of anger from another person, or attack, or verbal abuse, degradation, invalidation, or abnegation, anything that is thrown at you to degrade you, the thymus will kick into being and create a system of protection. Now, in the medical terms, there's a very fancy term for protection. It's called the reticuloendothelial endothelial system. This is a special word that you're not supposed to know about because this is their word. Now we're going to use our word as protection. It's okay. There's nothing printed anywhere in the universe that says fancy words will replace simple words. Okay? Simple words are the best words to use. What happens is when you're hit by any means on the outside or on the inside, the thymus protective mechanism is the first mechanism alerted. And if this is breached, it's the first one to go down. It has to go down. If the invaders are going to get inside you to do their little dirty work, they have to breach your protective system. They have to break through your walls, your screens. They got to knock your barriers down. If you've got a good, strong defense, it's going to be real hard for people to get through to you. But if you're weak and you're not as wily as some other people, you may fall very easily to the simplest things. Ever see people react when a little bee comes in the house, you know, something like that? Some people, you know, if they're strong enough, they'll swat the bee. Other people, you know, because what's happened is the protective mechanisms are all an alarm because they know that a lot of the screens are wasted. And if the bee gets in and stings that body, then that person may suffer anaphylactic shock or go into an incredible histamine reaction. So that's the first system. Now, along with this, we've developed an emotional guide, which is another simple term, right? I give you another simple term as an emotional guide so that you understand this first number. And the reason why we're doing this in the first place is that the computer thinks all in numbers. It doesn't think in these terms. It has to be translated. And if you see this number 1 come out in your program, then you think these things. Ah, protection. Someone's trying to breach my protective barriers. Okay? But that's what you have to think of. Now, on the emotional scale, we put the term aggression up so that you understand that it is aggression that you're trying to deal with. Any kind of aggression at all. It could be, a drug could be an aggression on your system. Just a drug. Now, the interesting thing about it is some people don't even know they're aggressing their own system. It's being done to them very surreptitiously. In other words, someone's convinced them that this is what they need, and in fact, you have let loose the fox in the chicken coop. And it's only because you're misinformed. So it's very important that if you see a number 1 come up in the chain link of numbers in your system when the computer has analyzed you, that you got to think about the fact that you have allowed aggression to take form in your system, somehow or another.